and lots of cards in his hand to play. But I'll have to be cautious here. If I can keep healing my guys up and make maximum use out of my war beasts, I might have a chance. Next image. What I've done here is I've moved up with the Blackfrost Shard, as you can see in the middle of the photo in the field there, and they have used their Ice Cage or Ice Spray or whatever they have, Ice Bolt, to get rid of a couple of the Skinwalkers. They tried to freeze the last one but didn't manage it, and this is a little bit of a screen here. If he comes in to attack them in close combat, I've got the beasts hanging around in the background to dish out some damage. Typhon has taken some hits as well, I believe, but I may have healed them back, or was that something that happened later in the game? I think it was. Next image, he's moved in his Skinwalker, the last Skinwalker here at the Blackfrost Shard, and not managing to pick them off, but this guy's going to be quite annoying. I do have some Weapon Master, Claymores here to try and take him down, but he is armor 20, so still quite a toughie. Next image, my opponent sends in his Bloodweavers, which he promptly adds regrowth to. He's also sent his Wolf Stalker in to try and kill Severin of the Blackfrost Shard here, using Sprint to pull back 6 inches as well, which is quite a clever move. I thought he was right to do that because it denies me the opportunity to damage his Wolf Stalker. And if he can keep his Wolf Stalker in the game indefinitely, that just makes life harder and harder for me as we both run out of models, because the Wolf Stalker outranges most of my guys. Next image, here he is there. He's pulled back all the way behind this wall, this concealment here. He's got Prowl up. He is very close to that shifting stone, and the blood tracker's hanging out in the middle, which will be annoying. He's also pulled his Wolfriders around as well, so they'll be potential targets. But a lot of his guys sort of central to the field now. He's got some good position, but he's also given me a good position to counterattack and do some damage. Next image, I do attack back on the Skinwalker with not only the Shredder, but both members of Blackfrost Shard, and I remember rolling terribly here, not managed to kill the Skinwalker at all, which was hugely annoying despite using Rabid and buying an attack, charging with Rabid rather, and the two Weapon Master guys here, just not managing to touch them, just dice rolls too low. Next image, Typhon moves up. And what I've actually done here is I've used Thagrosh to combine with a Spell Martyr to try and get a Scourge off on a Shifting Stone, and we had a bit of a discussion here about whether, how should I put it, whether the Spell Martyr was in range with the spell to hit the Shifting Stone. It was just borderline when we measured it, and when you have these tight games where you measure it and you accidentally bump your models around, it was kind of like that, but he let me have the ranges. So what I'm doing here is I'm essentially moving my beasts around. I'm killing all of his Bloodweavers as he's moved them up in a similar way that he did with his Blood Trackers earlier in the game. And my plan here is yet again to kill all of the Bloodweavers in one round and prevent him from regrowing any of them, which somehow I managed to succeed in doing. I've got two war beasts here which have eyeless sight, so they were able to avoid stealth, and the trackers themselves are actually quite... how should I put it? They're quite squishy. I can't quite remember whether this actually was the turn where I wiped them out or not, but I know I did get them at some stage. No, actually what I decided to do here is I moved Typhon up and I sprayed the Stalker. It wasn't until later turn that I took out the Bloodweavers, but because my opponent did let me get the ranges I wanted and Scourge did go off on the Shifting Stone, I took it out and the Stalker was knocked down, and Typhon went to town with his breath attacks on the Stalker, not killing it but severely damaging it. On the left hand side of the photo you can see Annyssa Ryvaal trying to charge the Skinwalker to pick him off, but are all double ones for the charge attack, and left Annyssa sitting there like an idiot, not able to do the damage. So really quite annoyed here that I didn't kill either the Stalker or the Skinwalker. If you go to the next photo, you can see that I'm in a bit of a bad way here because he's got his Bloodweavers here, which he has. I think what happened here is he regrowed some of them, and the Stalker obviously jumping out of behind his cover to kill Annyssa Ryvaal, which takes me down another 4-point solo, which is very annoying. Next image, he's got his Bloodweavers up and running, and they all charge Typhon. In fact, 2 of them charge Typhon, 2 of them don't, and using Blood Spiller to do hideous amounts of damage on him. If he had had excessive healing up, he'd have probably been fine, but they reduced him to just 1 box. So on one hand, you might think that that's very lucky for me, but he rolled double 6s and stuff on some of his damage rolls, just doing excessive damage, and Typhon really should have been left with more boxes than just 1, but he did hurt me very badly, although I've got to be thankful that Typhon actually survived here, otherwise it might have been game over. Next image, though, I pull off a very funny play, which is to move Thagrosh right next to Typhon and actually attack the Bloodweavers, triggering Eruption of Ash, which is a weapon effect he has to kill them all. And that's why you see two templates next to Typhon on the bottom right of the photo. I haven't actually got a picture of what Thagrosh is doing there, but Angelius moving up to try and pick off the Stalker with his Flamajet attack, but failing. Really annoying again. I rolled a terrible attack roll. I was thinking to assassinate the Stalker and put myself in a really dominating lead there, but I didn't manage it, which totally wastes the Angelius' activation. Luckily, I have killed the Skinwalker at this point with one of my beasts. So, and then, oh man, the Blackfrost Shard guy moving around to throw something at one of the beasts, but not managing that either, so bit of a pain. Yeah, the Stalker doesn't have Prowl, and I attempted to Ice Bolt him, but even that didn't work, because he's armor 19 with the Restoration ability up. Ouch. Anyway, Typhon managing to pick off his Bloodweavers here, so getting rid of them. Next image. Here's the battlefield situation. I've got one Raptor. I've got Typhon with maybe a couple of boxes left, which I can heal. I've got the Angelius out in the midfield ready to die, and I've got one Blackfrost Shard and a Shredder. He has only got his Gnarlhorn, the Stalker, Gorax, and one Shifting Stone with Morvahna. So I've done extremely well to come back from a bad situation despite bad dice rolls. I've wiped out all of his infantry. He can't use Regrowth anymore, but it's his turn. So if he takes out both of my heavy war beasts, it's really just the war beasts against Thagrosh, so I'm in a world of trouble here. Next image, my opponent uses Morvahna to put down 3 Animus on the beast that he has. He puts Primal on the Gnarlhorn, Primal on the Gorax, and Bounding on the Stalker. And then he charged the Gnarlhorn at Typhon, and he's put all his Animus up with his caster, not with the beasts themselves. The Gnarlhorn turned out to be half an inch short of Typhon with his charge range, which was a bummer. And I said to him, look, you probably could have avoided that by just measuring your control range, and you could have cast Bounding instead to get in there. And what I decided to do was just let him take the turn back. I let him cast Bounding on the Gnarlhorn instead. Because he'd been very lenient with me when we were discussing ranges early in the game, letting me get my Scourge off, even though it was borderline. We didn't 4+, he just let me have it. So I said to him, look, why don't you just take that back, put Bounding on him, and that's what he did. And the Gnarlhorn comes over here and trashes Typhon. I healed him a little bit back up to like 5 or 6 boxes, but obviously the charging Satyr was enough to kill Typhon. And basically end his life there. He thought about slamming him into Thagrosh, but decided against it just in case the slam failed to kill Typhon, and left him without enough attacks to do the damage. Next image, the Stalker and the Gorax move over here and trash the Angelius and the Blackfrost Shard guy, leaving me with just Typhon, not Typhon, keep mixing up the names, leaving me with just Thagrosh, the Raptor in the background, and the Shredder. So it looks bad for me here. He's still got his caster up behind there, but what's good from my perspective is that he's cast Primal on the Gorax, so he's going to lose the activation of the Gorax, and if I play my cards right, I might be able to get the Gorax to frenzy into the Stalker. The Stalker's actually still on fire from the failed Angelius hit earlier in the game, or maybe the Typhon spray, can't remember, but the fire has not gone out. It's just that he's still armor 19. Next image, my responding turn. I moved the Shredder to the left around the Stalker to try and kill him, but I failed to do so. However, the Gorax may then frenzy into the Stalker and kill it. I have moved Thagrosh over here to charge the Gnarlhorn, and I thought it would take all of my fury to take him out, but with that power 18 Rapture weapon, man, he just did a number on the Gnarlhorn. He just took him to pieces. Thagrosh is awesome in combat, as you'd expect from his model. He's got tenacity on him as well, just for a little bit of protection. But I decided to just basically camp the 3 Fury. I was going to cast a Flesh Eater on the Gorax to kill it since it was wounded, but I knew I couldn't manage to pull that off, so decided just to put that Fury on myself just in case for next turn. And next image, there's Morvahna with all of her Fury, and really she's not really got many options. If you go to the next photo after that, you can see that I've taken the objective with my Raptor, so I'm on 1 control point. It's now his turn, and unless he kills either the Thagrosh or the Raptor, he'll automatically lose at the end of the game. End of this turn, rather. The Gorax has indeed automatically frenzied, and of course has killed the Stalker. I can't remember what happened there. I think the Shredder killed the Stalker, and then the Gorax killed the Shredder, or either the Shredder failed and the Gorax killed him. I can't quite remember, but what I do remember is that my opponent was completely screwed once he realised what was happened, because Morvahna was out of range to move over and kill the Raptor. She was in range to hit Thagrosh, but with Thagrosh fresh on, 2018 boxes or something, and, you know, her with just 7th Fury to cast Eruption of Life, she just couldn't do it. And that meant that I won the game. But an extremely close game, very interesting game, and a game that I hope you guys enjoyed. Tomorrow night I'm heading out to City Guard to play against Lee with his Cricks. Hopefully I'll be playing Legion. I'm thinking of taking Saren, or one of the other Legion casters to give myself a break from Thagrosh, but either way it's going to be a lot of fun. See you guys there. Hopefully Battle Report up on Sunday night. See you later.